the Space Age Penguin yet again. So today we are going to be doing a reaction video because, interestingly enough, at first I was trying to figure out what should I do today? What should I react to? Because, well, I've been juggling around some different ideas, so I literally was just looking up YouTube just to see, let's see if there's an episode of something I like that's available for me to watch here. And surprise, surprise, we got the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna be reacting to that. That's a film that I'm very excited about, yet also a little concerned about too, because there's been a lot of news on this here film. Basically, this thing has been delayed so many times, I have lost count. It has had so many reshoots. You've got a little bit of trouble going on with Amber Heard after the infamous, court date last summer, and she did lose that. Technically, both her and Johnny Depp did. Both of them technically lost, but Johnny Depp actually wound up winning by default because he had a stronger case and people were able to defend him. I'm not sure how many, because I honestly just got this off of the news. I didn't bother with actually seeing the court thing because it was, oh gosh, it's just so insane. But basically, so for those of you wondering why I'm mentioning this, why I'm bringing this up, that's because Amber Heard plays, or played, we'll have yet to see, Mara. She was in the first one. She had a really huge role in the first one. Sounds like she's going to be having a much smaller role in this. And I'm honestly curious to see where they take this character, but more than ever, I'm curious to see how they are reacting, because last time, you see, Warner Bros. Tried to defend Ezra Miller before The Flash came out, just so that The Flash could get a lot more popularity, a lot more interest, and it wound up backfiring big time. I mean, good grief, man, The Flash only lasted 3 weeks in theaters. It didn't even crack to 100 million. It is single-handedly the biggest superhero bomb I have ever seen in my life. I saw it in theaters, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, but that said, it wasn't perfect. And that actually gets us into this one, because this, thanks to The Flash, is no longer part of a DCEU. It is not part of James Gunn's DCU either. It is a standalone film now, like The Batman and Joker, except that this one's gonna be a little more awkward because this is actually a sequel following up a film that is a part of a DCEU canon, the original DCEU canon. So I'm curious to see where they take this. I know James Gunn's wanting James Wan, two Jameses, what are the odds, to do Aquaman 3, but we have yet to see on that. So let's see if I can get this here up. I've got the webpage up, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing my mouse moving around, so I am taking a guess that it is just the image. It's an image to get you excited, that's for sure. And so to note, before I get into this, this is my first time watching this. I have never seen this trailer before. This literally just dropped. I have no idea what I'm about to see. All I know is I've waited several months for this. So yeah, let's let's see what I can do here and get this set up. Let's see. Oh, everything went black there. Let's see. Making sure that this isn't what everyone is seeing here. Hang on a moment. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, let's just go back here for a moment. Yeah, sure enough. Okay. All right. So, let's see here. Let's see me edit. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'm still fairly new to this, so yeah. Let me just here go. Let's see. Gain capture. Let's see if here goes show layer. All right. And no, darn it. Like I said last stream, I'm still working out the kinks to this. I'm still new, so but hey, you know what? If it's giving inspiration, that's awesome. I really hope whoever is watching this, I really hope this inspires you to do your own streams. It can be whatever you can think of. It can be a game. It can be a movie. It could be even like what I'm trying to do, which I'm still fixing up. Simple like script. Let's see. How about oh, I see. That's cool. A little background there. That's my background. Come on. How do I get this to work? Let's see. Okay. See, maybe add layer. Let's see here. Really hoping that this screen share. Imager media. Let's see. Imager media. Let's see. It's not working. Okay. Sorry about this. Went into some technical difficulties here. I guess while I'm trying to fix this, I'll just continue talking. So yeah, basically, a lot's been going on with DC lately. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, so last year, Warner Brothers was bought by Discovery and they merged to become Warner Brothers Discovery. And as a result, so David Zaslav basically just started pulling the Thanos on the law of media. So now the Arrowverse is dead. The DCU officially ended with The Flash, which I will let you know, we did get Blue Beetle. Even though it's not officially part, I am going to be counting it as part of James Gunn's DCU. It's not the first film to the DCU. It is the introduction to the DCU. But that's because they gave Blue Beetle the promotion. DC removed it from the old DCU, most likely because they didn't want it to bomb hard like Shazam and Flash. And yeah, once again, bombing hard. My gosh, I have never seen anything that. I mean, good grief. The films made even. Birds of Prey made more than The Flash and Shazam combined. I mean, seriously, that's a mess. I'm hoping that this one does better. It seemed Blue Beetle was doing pretty okay, and it did at least succeed in cracking 100 million. So it seems their plan on moving it to the DCU did work. At least it did give enough people. It did get enough people interested. A lot more invested. But this is going to be a weird one. Because with this being a standalone universe now, I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Guess I'm just hang on. I'm just go straight to be right back here. Go straight to be right back here. Go straight to be right back here. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Let's properly try display capture if it doesn't work. Let's try display capture if it doesn't work. Okay, let's see. Come on. Okay, let's see. Come on. How does this work? How does this work? Display capture. Come on. Display capture. Come on. Display capture. Let's see. Sorry, just trying to fix a few things up here. I don't know if any of you heard my whistling. It's closest thing. I don't really sing that often, so I do whistle sometimes, especially if it's something I really like. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I'm not seeing. I'm seeing the mouse. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. It's working. It's working. Okay, good. It's working. Okay, the mouse was just invisible there. All right, let's try that again. Sorry about that. I'm just completely an idiot. Yeah, sorry for taking this time here. Let's get into it. awesome. I'm pretty darn excited. Holy cow. There's a lot to talk about. Okay, first let me change the screen here just for a moment. That way you don't get too much of my personal, yeah, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Change. Here we go. Let's just do. Oh wait, got it. Why didn't I think about it? I'll just delete this. Clear. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see. This layer. Okay, delete this layer. There we go. And we're back. All right. Whoa, my gosh, that theme looks awesome. I'm really excited about it. I definitely can say one of those seems to have learned their lesson from the Ezra Miller theme. Mara was like only in one scene in the entire trailer. I have been a big Black Manta fan for a very long time. I used to, as a kid, I watched, we had these little, Super Friends DVD collections. I used to watch a lot of the Super Friends, so that's where I'm familiar with both Aquaman and Black Manta. Holy cow, Black Manta looks awesome. I am pretty darn excited. He was easily one of the best parts in the first one. I'm just, oh my gosh, wow. I'm sorry, oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Let's see, alright. Wow. Boy, does James Wan know how to make everyone wait. And boy, does he know how to pay it off. Because my gosh. I mean, even the trailers to the first Aquaman, look, they were pretty cool. I remember when the first trailer to the first film came out, I remember having to wait an entire half year, which is now nothing compared to this. 5 years ago. Then when it came out during the Comic-Con, I saw it, I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. I actually was a little, to be honest, I was a little underwhelmed. Especially after, because then the Shazam trailer came out, and it looked it actually looked more exciting than the Aquaman trailer. So when the trailers, the first one came out, I was still pretty excited, but I was a little more skeptical. I was a little more like, I don't know, this is like okay. It wasn't until the last trailer where I was like, okay, I am actually pretty excited about this now. This one's a much different story. My gosh, this looks awesome. My gosh, I love how they're bringing in more of a lore. They're bringing in more, so there's like 7 kingdoms now. Once again, man, my gosh, Black Manta. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. The actor, he has a complicated name, which I've forgotten now, but I'll remember it. He did an incredible job with the part in the first one. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Wow, what a trailer. I'm just so excited. It definitely looks like it is its own theme. James Wan wasn't kidding. There is like no mention of the Justice League whatsoever. There is no bringing up Batman or the Flash or anything that happened in any of the previous films. The only film that they've even made some connections to is just the first Aquaman. besides that, this seems completely like its own theme. Orm looks pretty awesome. That really threw me for a moment, where it's like, wait, that's Orm? He looks different, and it's like, okay, wow, that is just, also, this was obviously, this was something I've been very excited about ever since the concept art got revealed. Those Octo subs, my gosh, those look awesome. I'm one to pay attention to, like, vehicles, different types of ships, and oh man, they just look so awesome. I will say this doesn't look very deep. Once again, we are getting into more Furious 7 territory, but you know what? I'm pretty alright with that. I am pretty darn alright with that. I'm a huge fan of Furious 7. That's my favorite Fast and Furious film. For those of you wondering, that is directed by James Wan of Aquaman guy, which definitely shows. But my gosh, yeah. Obviously, yeah. And then the first Aquaman, I actually really liked. I was a lot more positive than a lot of critics. I was very surprised that I actually got mixed reactions. But yeah, and this is just looking like more of that. So I am really excited. I'm really hyped. There's once again, I don't think there's gonna be any consequences of this for James Gunn's DCU. This does seem pretty standalone. Kind of the last. This is basically the last bow of the DCU. Even though now it's no longer DCU because canonically, yeah. Okay, so before I sign off here, for everyone watching this, so few months back, DC announced the complete DCEU collection. This includes all the canonical DCEU films. It's a Blu-ray set that I think has already come out. I already own most of the films, so I really could care less. What does interest me, though, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the list of canonical films for the DCEU, not James Gunn's DCU, he already confirmed that long before in January. So the DCU basically now comprises of Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which cut we don't know, it doesn't matter anymore. I personally would go for the Ultimate Edition though, because I prefer that one. But you know, got a little bit of a heart for a theatrical cut as well. I remember seeing that one in theaters and going. I liked that. I really liked that. Obviously, of course, rewatching it a few times, I can see some of the issues now. I can see where a lot of people are coming from. Lex Luthor really did not hold up after the first viewing. I was just very impressed. I'm a guy who likes to go in a more positive direction. I'm like one of those more positive critics that, Rotten Tomatoes would select for to gain hype on a film, Rotten Tomatoes is we could trouble if they don't watch it. Anyway, so I'm a little more positive. I'm a lot more on the positive side of things. So Batman v Superman, I really did enjoy. So those two. Wonder Woman is next. So we skipped Suicide Squad, which, mind you, they removed that from canon once James Gunn released the Suicide Squad. So that one's like gone. That one's dead. That one's like, when Disney removed all the old Star Wars expanded universe stuff and called it Legends. Yeah, DC did a similar thing. Anyways, so then So yeah, they skip that, go straight to Wonder Woman, which, no big surprise, I love that film, man. It's really well done. I kind of dug the Ares twist, to be honest. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, what's up? Hey, just how you doing? Listening to chat. Hey, just how you doing? Listening to chat. Yeah. I'm doing fine. I just saw the Aquaman Lost Kingdom trailer. I'm currently talking about it, talking about the DCU, talking about the DCEU. Oh yeah, of course. I can totally get you my Discord here. Let me just pull that up here on the chat here. Let's see. Hang on a second. Okay, let's see. Let's go to chat. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still new to this, so let's see. I'm just going to. Oh yeah, that'd be. I have no idea. I'm just Kyle working things as I honestly don't know why my mic has an echo. I'll have to test that out next time. So I do apologize for that. Hang on here. Let me see. Let's see if I want. Yeah, I'm just going to post my Discord on the main chat here. Let's see. On the main chat here. Let's get that up. Here we go. All right. Just post new one here. Oh, come on, seriously, now you're acting like this. I don't get it. It's not. I don't get it. Okay, let me see. Yeah, once again, sorry, I'm still new to this, so you know what? If you stick around, I'm gonna try and give you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my Discord like as soon as possible. Once I figured out how this chat's being works. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That's really cool. Yeah, if you want to recommend this channel to everyone else, that's great. In the meantime, while I'm figuring this thing out, I'm just going to continue talking about DCU canon. That's currently what I'm talking about, so if you just joined, just a quick recap. The DCU changed their canon up again. This is, I mean, my gosh, DC's timeline is so in flux. I don't even know, like, what even is DC canon anymore? Besides, pump the mic level? Okay, thank you. Try that here. Let's see. Sorry about that. Just muted that. But yeah, anyways, so we changed up the oh, I see. Yeah. Just turning that down a bit. Let's see. How's that? May turning it up. All right. Oh. Sorry, I'm a little lost here. All right. All right. All right. How's that? That better? All right, how's that? That better? Oh, awesome. Thanks, thanks. I will. Awesome. Thanks, thanks. I will. Awesome. Thanks, thanks. I will. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Thanks. All right. All right. Hopefully, there's that'll fixed up. Thank you for Discord here. I'm going to go ahead and send you a friend request here. So in the meantime, so getting back to the DCU. Basically, so he changed their canon up again earlier this summer after what happened after the Flash, basically, because the Flash easily one of the biggest superhero disasters I have ever seen in a box office wise. I saw a film box office wise. That was pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that'll fixed up. But yeah, so after that, they changed their canon up again. Now it's just 10 films. Thanks for letting me know. That's awesome. But yeah. Okay, hang on here. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead, send a friend request here. Here go. Just search. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, so basically, basically they changed up their canon, so it's now 10 films: Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984, Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is very interesting. It's almost like they're just letting the fans see. It's almost like they're one to. It's almost like they're letting their fans. Here we go. Letting their fans basically. Yeah. Anyways, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Black Adam, Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and The Flash. So that is the DCEU canon now. Basically, Suicide Squad and the theatrical cut to Justice League are no longer canon. Those have been cut entirely. And Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn film, which I love so much. Oh my gosh, I have seen that 5 times now. I have some kind of messed up tastes, but I love that film so much. Anyways, so all right, there we go. Okay, so I just. Oh, whoop. Sorry, hold on here. But yeah, anyways, so that's the DCU canon now. Right now, so Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom are now sort of in limbo okay. Like I mentioned earlier, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, apparently that is now a standalone universe. That's not. This is confusing. Oh my gosh, this is confusing. This is so confusing. But Aquaman Lost Kingdom is now its own theme. It's now its own universe, but it's still following up the first one, which is still DCEU canon. So. Oh my gosh. What a mess. James Gunn basically is going, I'm doing this side project over here called the DCU. Basically, that's going to be a lot more straightforward, a lot more strained out. It is a hard reboot on on the DCEU, which is now officially dead, with The Flash being the last film. All right. Yeah, just sent to you a friend request there, Evac. I can't. Evac, basically, yeah. So just sent you a friend request on Discord, so there you go. Anyways, thanks for posting your Discord there. That's gotta be really helpful. Why am I kidding? That was already helpful. But anyways, getting back to it. Basically, DC's in a messy state right now. This year has easily been, hands down, its worst year box office-wise. The biggest hit they have had is Blue Beetle, and that barely broke even. It only made like $100 million, and that's because, once again, DC decided, you know what, we're gonna push this out of the DCEU. Oh yeah, that's right. I never brought that up. Okay. So, yeah, let me explain what happened here. So last year, Warner Bros. Got bought by Discovery. David Zaslav started pulling a Thanos on a lot of media. So most of the DC stuff that had been established a year ago is now basically gone. Everything that was in development was canceled. Batgirl got famously canceled, even though that was done. It even had a test screening, which it sounds like that was for... oh, there we go. Wow. Let me respond. But anyways, basically, yeah, so you've got all that. You've got, so you got a change of guard. David Zaslav did decide, that to give the DCEU one last chance, which was in the form of Black Adam. He basically bet the entire future of the DCU on Black Adam, mostly because he had watched the numbers to the previous DCU films, how well they have done, and he noticed that post-Aquaman, things haven't been going too well. As a matter of fact, actually Aquaman was the only exception because, let me rephrase that, post-Justice League, things have not been going too well because it's just a mess. Originally, DC wanted this hyper dark, Zack Snyder-led universe. It worked out okay with Man of Steel, but Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice failed to crack $1 billion. It was still a hit. Which is something weird that Warner Bros. Responded the way they did at the time, because essentially it made over 800 million, which isn't a bad number. I mean, it still is counted as a big success. However, it was critically destroyed with like a splat and a 28%. Critics absolutely loathed it. Then, to make things more complicated, the audience came in, people like me, came in and are like, hey, that's not that bad of a film, you know? It's actually pretty good. It still is pretty good. But, however, the damage had been done, and Warner Bros. Realized this hyperdark fiend isn't going to work. So, they basically took Suicide Squad, which was almost complete, and they completely revamped it from David Ayer's original vision, which, I don't know. Hearing about David Ayer's original vision, it sounds more interesting. I will give it that. It sounds interesting. Apparently his original vision was to have more of a cynical sense of irony for the squad, for the tone just in general, because it's basically a Suicide Squad of these past villains that are basically sent out to die. That's the idea. And as a result, of course, it sounds very edgy. It was supposed to be incredibly dark. And DC, post Dawn of Justice, mind you, did not like that. So, obviously the second trailer had been released. It is known as like one of the best trailers out there in the past decade, which I'll agree with. Sometimes I revisit that trailer and it's like, wow, that thing is so well put together. How on earth did they wound up with that disaster? But basically, after the trailer came out, they decided, you know what? Let's make this film more like the trailer. Let's make this more jokey. Let's make this more lighthearted. Still a bite to it, but a lot more music focused. I think the film has like a total of, I'd like to say it was like 27 songs. I'll have to look it up, but it is an insane amount. Basically, despite it being saying it's written and directed by David Ayer, personally, Suicide Squad, at least what we wound up getting, it really is a lot more like, the studio took over and directed it, basically, which is what wound up happening. And as a result, it received even worse reviews than Dawn of Justice did. It is like infamously known as the worst DCEU film, period. To most anyways. There are some who will put the theatrical to Justice League, which we'll talk about soon, which we're actually coming right up to. But basically, yeah, so you got that. And then Wonder Woman comes out a year later. And that takes DC by surprise. Because it's like, not only that was their first critical success since yes, Suicide Squad could have been directed. That's great. Yes, totally. I mean, they could have just gotten another director and we're like, you know what? Let's just own that. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, so then Wonder Woman came out, and that took everyone by surprise because it was the first positively received DC film since The Dark Knight Rises. And I remember seeing that one in theaters, and it's like, holy cow, the DCEU is good? I mean, okay, mind you, I have a soft spot for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I personally like that. And Man of Steel, it does seem, is getting a following. A lot of people have come back to that one and have gone, you know what, that wasn't too bad. That actually was really good. But then Wonder Woman, it's like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. I mean, yes, to be fair, they did kind of fall for the traditional for that good guy versus bad guy thing at the end, which was tapped on. That was something where the studio did force Patty Jenkins to write that and to direct it, which, I mean, you can see that was like responded to as the worst part in the film. To a point, I'll agree. I kind of dug the Ares twist with it being Professor Lupin from Harry Potter, because, you know, I mean, it's David Thewlis, but that's his role that I'm most familiar with. But anyways, so I actually did find that interesting. And it's when they started battling, when he was still in the fancy suit, it's like, okay, that's unique. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's traditional, but that's something interesting. And then they put the armor on and it's like, really? No, we're doing this. But, you know, it didn't ruin the film. It did not ruin the film at all. It was just a little like, misstep. Just a little misstep, but in a otherwise incredibly great film. Then Justice League comes out, and that changes everything. Not in the best way. Because so after Dawn of Justice came out, DC immediately started getting concerned about Zack Snyder and where he was going with his direction, because Zack Snyder still wanted the grimdark tone. So at first, things were going more okay, because it seemed that Zack Snyder, even though he did want this darker than what they wound up getting with the theatrical cut to Justice League, it was still gonna be dark. I mean, having seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we'll talk about later, but having seen that one, it's like, oh, I see where they're coming from to a certain extent. It's weird at times, but it's really good. It's really good. But getting back to the theatrical cut, so DC had grown some concerns about where Zack Snyder was going, and they're like, I don't know about this. I mean, we'll still try it maybe, but if there's any excuse at all to cut Zack Snyder out, to kick him out, we'll take it. And sure enough, back in March 2017, there was. It was actually very sad, very tragic, but Zack Snyder's daughter did commit suicide, and the director had to step down. Warner Bros. Took full advantage of that, and they hired the weirdest choice of replacement director yet. I could see where they're coming from, but so they chose Joss Whedon to take his place, which I love the Avengers. I love Age of Ultron a lot more than other people. I think Joss Whedon could have done a really good Justice League film. The problem is, it was the wrong film. This was the wrong project. They basically let Joss Whedon take over Zack Snyder's vision, which wasn't a good idea. As a result, we wound up with Justice League, which I really liked at first. I thought it was pretty good. I was a lot more leaning towards the positive side at the time, but 5 viewings and a superior director's cut later, I was like, oh, wow, that really did not hold up well. Which a lot of critics had already seen. However, the biggest, most interesting thing that happened as a result of Justice League, the theatrical cut, was fans of Zack Snyder started coming out and going, hey, when's the alternate cut coming? Because one of Zack Snyder's traits, whenever a studio tampers around with a film that he makes, he releases a director's cut almost immediately. But Warner Bros. Confirmed that there was no director's cut that was going to be released with the theatrical cut. And as a result, people started getting angry. They started going, wait a second, but there is an alternate cut. The problem is the studio started denying that the alternate cut happened. And that just made things worse, because then the fans started going, hey, you know what? This isn't fair. You totally screwed up Zack Snyder's vision. We're going back to Snyder's vision, which is weird, given that Warner Bros. Thought the opposite would happen. Oh, and by the way, of course, the theatrical cut did not do well. They made the unwise decision to keep it to November 2017, which basically, so they got Joss Whedon in on March 2017. They only gave him like a few months to just do reshoots, to try and patch things up just to make it cohesive and make it more like the Avengers. They changed the tone up last minute. It was a mess. And once again, at first glance, it doesn't look that bad. But then the more you get to know what happened, the more it's like, oh, yeah, I see. Oh, yeah, and of course, Superman CGI lip. Oh my gosh, no. Even in the theater, I was like, that looks weird. Anyways, so yeah, so Justice League comes out, and you get that. You get that impact, and then, especially after Wonder Woman, DC knew what to do. We're gonna stick with standalone films. And this especially became stronger with Aquaman. So Aquaman came out an entire year later, and it took everyone by surprise once again. But not because of a critical reception this time. That was Wonder Woman's theme. Rather, it was the first DC film since Dark Knight Rises to make $1 billion. And that took them by surprise. Where it's like, okay, we're moving forward in this direction then. So during that time, they made a plan. So we're going to do these PG-13, more family-friendly superhero films, standalone films. And then we're also going to, because Deadpool had been a huge hit, we're going to do these R-rated anti-hero sort of villain. It's complicated, but basically they're trying to make Harley Quinn their own Deadpool. And basically, their plan kind of worked. It worked well with Aquaman. And they were willing to give Shazam a pass because Shazam came out a few months later, once again, positively received. But it didn't make the numbers that Aquaman did. It made 300-something million worldwide total. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But it wasn't too good either. Then Joker comes out. That's a standalone universe film. And so that's so it does well. For starters, it does really well, box office wise. However, DC does not get why it made over $1 billion. They misunderstand and they think that, similar to Aquaman, it's like, oh, now these R-rated villain films are doing really well. That's incredible. We'll just make more of them. And that's when things really did not work out, because Birds of Prey came out. It did not crack even 100 million. It didn't make the disastrous numbers The Flash made, but yeah, it made like, what was it, 90? Yeah, 90-some million, something like that. Yeah. It was just weird. It was weird. It had an insanely long title. The Harley Quinn crowd, ironically enough, were still teenagers, so they couldn't go to see the film in theaters because it was R. And more than that, people just, they didn't seem interested, which, that is a really big theme. Post-Justice League, it just seemed everyone kind of lost interest. So, anyways, so getting back to that, so that didn't work. So they started considering changing their plans. They made Black Adam PG-13. They still gave the Suicide Squad a chance because it was James Gunn, and because they basically allowed James Gunn to do whatever he wanted, which, that is the idea. That was where they were going with next with a second plan, which was just let the people do whatever they want. Let the directors do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. Overarching vision doesn't matter. That backfired big time. So as a result, we get these years of these standalone films where it's like, is this still canon? Is this even still the DCEU? what's going on with that? And then finally, around 2022, we start getting and now we're going to go into this. So DC decided, following Marvel's success at the time, mind you, this is before this is before Discovery came in. So before then, Warner Bros. Was like, okay, you know what? Let's explore the multiverse. Let's do Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're going to build to that. We're just going to start exploring the multiverse here with all these different universes. And The Flash would have been the big one to go straight into that. And then Zaslav came in. He started canceling stuff. He decided to give the DCU one last chance with Black Adam. Black Adam did not work. It made $300 million, which was not good. It was not the numbers they're expecting. It failed to please critics. Personally, I enjoyed it, but critics, most of them did not. So, a few weeks later, Zaslav went, Walter Amada, that was the guy who was in charge previously, you're out. You're gone. You're out of here. We're going to get James Gunn to take your place. So, James Gunn is officially hired. And he starts coming up with some plans, which he announces in January. His plan is reboot everything. We're starting from scratch. We're canning the DCEU. And because of that, people started getting skeptical. People started getting angry. But more than that, whatever remaining interest people had in the DCEU was killed off instantly. Because it's like, why do we want to see these upcoming films anymore? Mind you, they had announced Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman: Lost Kingdom. Those were still happening. Those were released earlier this year. Blue Beetle's still out, and obviously I just saw the trailer to Aquaman 2. So, unfortunately, DC kind of killed off any remaining interest in the DCU before the DCEU could properly end. And as a result, Shazam and The Flash, yeah, I know, totally does sound like them. As a result, both films bomb hard. They make worse numbers than Birds of Prey. Shazam, let's see, I'd like to say it was like maybe 70, 80 million, something like that total, something like that. The Flash was a record-shattering 50. It is now known as the worst box office numbers for a superhero film, period. And that is all because of multiple factors. One of them is losing interest in the DCEU, where it's like, do we even care about this universe anymore? It's just gonna end. It's basically over. The other thing is, of course, you got Ezra Miller, who, that is just another conversation in of itself, because, I mean, you think Amber Heard is bad? Ezra Miller really took things up a notch, and not in a good way. It was just an entire year of constant reports going, oh, now the Flash is being violent. Now Ezra Miller is kidnapping people. Now Ezra Miller is starting a cult. It's like, oh, gosh. So because of that, people did not want to see a film with Ezra Miller as not one, but two leads. And DC tried to counteract that by going, hey, you know what? Ezra Miller is, we're going to give him mental treatment. We're going to make sure that he gets the right mental health that he needs. And even worse, just a few weeks before film comes out, Warner Bros. Goes, hey, you know what? Ezra Miller's not that bad of a person. He's a really great actor. Oh, sorry, that's right. I keep forgetting he changed his pronouns to they. But, yeah. They're a great actor. They do so well that we just couldn't even think about recasting them just for a second. And by the way, they might be back as the Flash again. That backfired hard. Because they're hoping that get people interested in the Flash. It did not. Instead, it just killed off. It just sealed the film's fate. Dr. Fate. Sorry, sometimes I like to make these little puns. But anyways, he is a DC character, by the way. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, there's all that mess. And now, so in the middle of The Flash's release, that's when Warner Bros. Decides to change up its canon again. Just going, here are these 10 films, this is the DCEU. Once again, the list is Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Black Adam, Shazam Fury of the Gods, and The Flash. Right now, the state where it's at, Birds of Prey and The Suicide Squad are considered loose canon, where they're in limbo. We're still not sure where these films are set. Are they their own universe? Are they an alternate universe? Where are they? Where in the canon are they? We don't know. Aquaman 2. That was moved to a standalone universe. After The Flash, they cut all the scenes. Apparently, there's supposed to be scenes with Batman. They weren't sure if it was going to be Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck. They just shot scenes with both. They're doing alternate takes just to see. And then The Flash came out, and it's like, no, we're just cutting this all together. So they move Aquaman to a separate standalone universe. Basically, Blue Beetle, they technically move to James Gunn's DCU. The studio does, because James Gunn goes, hey, wait a second, this film is not canon, okay? I mean, maybe this character will be, but not the film, at least not yet. Once again, not yet, because, emphasizing that because, it may yet be moved to canon. We'll have yet to see. Just saw that, by the way. It was a really good film. Easily the best film they have made this year. So this year has just been a giant mess for DC. Aquaman 2 is looking to just be its own thing, which I am very excited for. I am very looking forward to it. I was a little skeptical at the beginning, but after seeing the trailer, it looks awesome. I'm so excited to see it. Next year, we are only getting one DC film, and even then, that is dependent on the strikes, on how long those last. Because if the strikes continue for as long as possible, we may not even be getting a year with a DC film next year. And even then, the DC film is just Joker 2, which I guess maybe he'll check that out at some point. I don't know. I love the costumes though. Love the costumes. Those look awesome. Mostly DC wise, I'm looking forward to Aquaman 2, and I'm pretty excited about James Gunn's DCU. I'm very excited to see where they go. I love Blue Beetle, and I really hope they make that canon, the film canon, because I think it could work. Because, yeah, other heroes do get mentioned in the film, but there's no, like, explicit connections like, oh, here's what happened in this film. It's more like, oh, Batman's in this universe. They just mentioned Batman at one point. Or Superman. Superman's in this universe. Just mention him at one point. It doesn't matter. And I think that will work out really well. So yeah, so we'll see where DC goes here. I'm personally excited. At least they aren't in the multiversal mess that is Marvel right now, where Marvel's really having to go, oh dear. But that's another conversation for another time. This time, it's just about DC. It's just about reacting to Aquaman 2 trailer. Yeah. Anyways, so there's that. I'm actually going to get off now, but there are going to be regular streams on Thursdays. So for those of you tuning in, I will be back next Thursday with another video. So to answer, so first off, Evac, you did ask a big question. Can you tell me a little more about what your stream? What do you typically stream and who's your targeted audience? So just really quick, just see my intro video. I already do a bit of explaining on that. But I'm kind of wanting to experiment around. I wanting to do a few different things. Cause this is my first time here. And I'm just wanting to have some fun. That's really honestly where I'm coming from. I want to be creative. I want to have some fun. I want to do something a little different. And I will pick up the audience as they come along. So that's part of the experimental fun with that. Where I just want to go, okay, let's see who's watching this. Let's see what's going on here. So yeah, so there's that. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I can think of. I'm just gonna sign off here, and I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're all having a good day for those of you who are watching it, and I'll see you next week. Take care.